Right, so we're actually finally going to get to the top tier skill builds. Now, before we get too far into this, there's one thing I need you to understand. There's kind of been a talking point lately, and a lot of people have gotten the wrong idea. Well, apart from one of them, where I outright called someone a liar, that I've been going over these things to sort of discredit this person. Nope, it's been a build up to this video, simply just because what I need you all to understand is skill builds are not meta in any way, shape, or form. If someone says they have a meta skill build, bollocks. The closest you can really get to meta in terms of skill build is going to be in the speedrunning scenarios, which is going to be Legendary Capital, in some instances Legendary Manning National Zoo, depending on the strat people want to use, and then Operation Iron Horse. That is basically it. When it comes to meta skill builds, it's Oxidizer, specifically in those three locations. There might be a few more, but outside of speedrunning, skill builds are in no way, shape, or form meta. Second point is, look at me, I've got like a green screen and stuff. Woo. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. Right, so up first we have the tried and tested. This is 3-piece Empress, Force Multiplier for perfect combined arms. This is the better backpack, mostly just because it entails you shooting something, which is also going to incorporate your DPS. And then we have another Hanayu piece to get the skill haste, skill damage, and then a Wyvern piece, typically the holster, because if you are going to replace one, you replace the holster for waveform, which we'll get into in a bit. Either way, 3-piece Empress, skill damage, skill haste for all your rolls, 2 Hanayu, 1 including the backpack, and then a Wyvern piece, typically the holster. The best in-slot talent, regardless of how you feel about it, is going to be Glass Cannon. Now, for DPS, it's pretty simple. The hardest part of this was actually figuring out how skills work. Massive shout out to both Rousey and IKEA for this. But as you can see, total DPS, both weapon and skills involved, is about 6.2 mil. This is pretty damn low. The reason skill builds feel so comfortable a lot of the time is just simply because it's not you aiming for a good 50% of your damage. It's the enemy's AI. Sometimes it's dumb and tries to shoot through walls. Sometimes it's pinpoint accurate, which is also why they deal with chungers so quick. They will hit their mark all the time. When we're shooting a chunga, they like to fall over, their arms get in the way. We're spreading our damage over multiple plates when we're not intending to. A turret will go chest and only hit the chest, which is why they break pretty quickly. Up next, we have what a lot of people assume to be the skill build meta, incorrectly. Yeah, it's the exact same build as the previous one. Rather than having a Wyvern holster though, we've simply swapped it out with a waveform. Pretty simple, right? However, as Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap. We are literally doing 1.44% more than not having waveform, and even this is a chance, because if we don't have waveform up, we do nearly 3% less, as denoted by that 101.44 and now the 97.12. Yeah, waveform, in my opinion, not worth it, at all. I would actually put it as one of the worst exotics in the game, but again, dealer's choice. It's entirely up to you and how you personally wish to play. I personally see waveform as a oscillating skill or talent that works very well on things such as Seeker Mines. When you get Seeker Mines off cooldown and you have waveform up through your Seeker Mines, you will get a straight up 30% skill damage for your Seeker Mines. Using it on something like a turret and drone, where it's going to be oscillating back and forth with turret and drone that may or may not be shooting things, you're playing a gambling game, and most of the time, you're going to lose. Next up on this list, we're just covering high ends today. We'll be going into other builds in a bit, and we're just looking also at turret and drone. Up next, if you've been following me for a while, you'll recognize this build, and obviously, at this point, shout out Rise of Brutality. He has his socials in the description. Absolutely go check him out. As far as I'm aware, because he's the first person that I saw that, well, I was there when he made the build and tested it. I then made the build, did video on it. This is obviously going to be the Bro build. Now I've got Bro build and Bro build Pro. Now I'm not trying to advertise these because, oh no, my clan leader made them. Shout out clan leader. I have tried and tried and tried to find a high-end skill build that can outperform the Bro build. There isn't one. I have tried every combination. Now, in a realistic world, depending on how you wish to look at this is less skill build, more hybrid. However, considering the next video that we're going to be doing on this, which is going to be looking at things like negotiators and strikers, yellow builds, I figure we could make a little bit of leeway on this. So if you are looking for a top tier skill build that outperforms basically every other high-end skill build, then I look no further than this video. So if you haven't seen it, this is the Bro build. It is 2-piece Brazos using the Picaro's holster, 3-piece Empress and Memento. You want to go for about 50% crit chance. You can go higher if you want solo. However, we go for 50% in case we're running in a group, and Coyote's Mask can come into effect. It's basically skill damage, crit chance, crit damage everywhere. And the reason we do this is because Memento takes care of everything else. Memento gives 30% skill efficiency. 1% skill efficiency gives so much. Skill efficiency gives skill damage, skill haste, skill duration, skill health, skill repair, and status effect. So we're getting quite a bit from Memento. And here is the DPS. Now, the main thing that you should draw your attention to is, for a start, the weapon does more than the skills. Like, the weapon does 4.4 mil, skills do 2.9. However, in total, we're doing 18% more than the standard skill build. Now, the Bro build has actually had a few runarounds. There's been a few interpretations of it. However, mine is the original, posted originally 10 months ago, and even in this video I do state that the original iteration was 3 months prior, so we're looking 13 months ago for this original iteration. However, the official debut of the build was on the 25th of December 2022. I do timestamp this shit. However, for the Bro build Pro, all we are doing is replacing Memento with Force Multiplier. This gives us perfect combined arms. You'll want a skill tier, skill damage, and then either crit chance or crit damage, and then just mod in the other one. This only does about 1% more than the Memento one. It is quite a bit more powerful. It evens out the damage between the weapon and the skills. However, we are going to be lacking in skill haste. The only skill haste we get is from your watch, the 1-piece Hannah Yu, as well as the 3-piece Empress, which also does give 10% skill efficiency. However, this is going to bring this video to a close. This is just the high-end builds. I will be going over some of the gear sets, such as the Strikers, the best we can get out of Striker skill build, the Negotiator skill build, which I do believe, like, overall is technically the strongest. I think I need to check with Rousey with that because I know he has one. And then I need to check on Ongoing Directive. I can't remember who said it. I think it might be Elf MZ. But Ongoing Directive affects skills magically somehow. Skills get hollow point bullets, essentially, which is bloody bizarre. So that is something I do need to check on, and if that is still happening in that instance, I'm pretty sure it's a bug, but I might even need to give it an honorable mention, or at least go over the math at the very least. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.